Alright, PMZ. I'm going to call you PDS, pretty damn stupid, instead of Pointmanzero, alright? Because you're pretty damn stupid, alright? I'm just going to... Those red herrings and straw men were just terrible. Now, let me break it down for you. Okay, first off, Unforgiven one. Avatar of Clint Eastwood from the movie Unforgiven, okay? Add the one, Unforgiven one, okay? Not rocket science. You can figure it out. Now, as far as you're comparing me to, say, a 14-year-old girl in such a way as to be derogatory, let me point out the fact that, and this is for all the women out there that might be foolish enough to think that this fool is somebody you might want to copulate with. He's a woman hater. I'll use the big word for you ladies out there. I know he won't understand it. It's called misogyny. He's a misogynist. You see, he thinks that using a 14-year-old girl in a derogatory manner is okay. So, yes, he's a misogynist. So, you don't want to have any children with him. If you decide to copulate, please use adequate protection, because you don't want to get pregnant from this fool. Alright? Especially you have a daughter. Oh my God, is she in trouble? Alright, now, let's get past all that now. Let's make point by point here very quickly. Because you see a rocket launched on a television set does not mean that that rocket carried men aboard, nor does it mean that it sent them further on towards the moon. Okay? I saw the White House destroyed. I saw it destroyed. I saw aliens blow it up to pieces. Guess what? That didn't really happen either. That didn't really happen now. Okay, now you ready for this? This is the kicker. You ready? That guy wasn't even the president. I'm serious. That guy wasn't even the president. Alright, now listen. For those of you that fell victim to his idiocy about satellites, they operate beyond the outer Van Allen radiation belt within the relatively safe space between the two belts and just underneath the inner Van Allen radiation belt. Now, when they send these satellites through those belts, they have to turn off the electronics so that they don't get destroyed. They also have hardening techniques now that they're using to try to help these satellites not get destroyed. You see, many satellites have been destroyed. Now, all you got to do is Google it. I know Pointmanzero, or PDS as I call him, doesn't quite understand that simple concept of Googling. Otherwise, he would make such silly statements, throw up all these red herrings and such to try to fool you. Now, let's just, let me see now where we want to go with this. The moon is 200, well, it's about 250,000 miles away. Let's just round it out, shall we? Which is about 5,000 times further than anybody's ever claimed to have gone. Let's see, 500 times 5,000, is that 250,000? Well, I think that's about right. Anyhow, we've had two shuttles, one going out and one coming back from below Earth orbit, less than 500 miles, destroyed, and all the people aboard killed. Now, these jackasses back in the 60s want you to believe that they used a aluminum craft, steel-framed aluminum, honeycombed aluminum craft, to go through all that radiation 5,000 miles further out beyond the magnetosphere into major solar flares as well as regular solar flares and constant solar wind, galactic cosmic rays, background radiation that is constant and isotropic. Okay, you might want to get a dictionary now, PDS, because you may not understand all this. Isotropic means comes from all directions, means you can't point anything towards it to shield yourself from it because you're fucked, okay? Now, once they got to the moon, okay, sure, they would have stepped on a surface that had been irradiated by all this radiation coming from the sun, gamma ray bursts, x-ray flares, you name it, buddy, radiation coming out of black holes, constantly irradiating the surface of the moon for, I think they say about 4 billion years. Probably more, who knows. You think you could stand on a surface like that? Then my goodness, fella, you are delusional. You might as well just go ahead and have a picnic down there at 3 Mile Island, because that would be a picnic compared to getting on the moon. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, so here. Go talk to a radiologist, somebody who works in the field of medical low-dose radiation treatments. Ask them what they think about Apollo astronauts 40 years later after going out and all that radiation, come back and they still walk around saying they've been to the moon. Getting hit by Z particles, as Buzz Aldrin put it. They'll tell you they're full of shit. They'll also tell you exactly what happens to the nervous system of a human body 10, 20, 30 years down the road after getting treated with just low-dose radiation. It ain't pretty, buddy. You're going to die with a shit bag attached to your wheelchair, because you ain't going to be able to walk either, because all the nerves in your body are eventually going to go to shit. Okay, now, I don't know how else to break this down for you. If you want to say, I can just hear it now, well, they had shielding. No, they did not. They had a honeycombed aluminum craft, and you go watch the video. I'll put a link for you right here. Eleanor Blakely will tell you exactly how shitty aluminum shielding is. Okay? Alright. Now, let's see. What else did you cover? Oh, laser reflectors. Let's not forget them laser reflectors. Well, if you would pay attention and watch maybe a couple of Jared White's excellent Moonfaker films, you might not realize that in 62 and 63 they had already shot lasers at the moon, bounced back a signal, used it to measure the distance from here to the moon. They did that before any retroreflectors were supposedly placed upon the moon. Now, I know this is rocket science to you. I know you might have to look something up. Oh, God forbid you have to do some research before you make some silly, retarded film about me and about the moon hoax. Let me just point out something very simple for you. If somebody tells you they did something and you're a critic, you're supposed to require believable proof. And when the proof conflicts with the truth, you got yourself a hog, buddy. And that's what you got. You got yourself a pig called Apollo. Now here's how funny it is. They even played a joke on you, man. They called their missions Apollo. They named them after a mythical god. A mythical mission after a mythical god. Do you understand? Do you? They don't call Phil Plait the bad astronomer for nothing. You see, it's all play on words. It's a big joke. And the joke is on you, mate. Because you fell for it. Either that or you just like defending a bunch of Nazis, ardent Nazis, who started the Apollo program and pulled this taxpayer heist on the good American people. Now, I know you're going to have to look up Project Paperclip and see that, yes, indeed, von Braun was an ardent Nazi, and they did bring hundreds of Nazi propulsion scientists into our space program. That's right. You can see the pictures right in the NASA books. Bunch of ardent Nazis. Now they got them dressed up like funky Americans instead of looking all crazy in their SS uniforms. But what the hell, you know? Picture's worth 1,000 words, right? Wake up, PDS. You're awful stupid for a guy who claims to be a skeptic.